My name is Tim Sadler. I am currently the head of sales at Force Metrics. My actual title is the Chief Revenue Officer, which means I'm in charge of sales and marketing. It's kind of an ironic story how I ended up at Force Metrics, ultimately selling to police departments. I started as a Chicago police officer. I started the academy in November of 1991. And I exited the academy and I went to work in the Ninth District on the south side of Chicago. I was a police officer. I actually worked most of my time on a beat called 936 Adam, which was a rapid response unit. And I worked there from 1991 till 1997. And the last 3 years of my time in the Chicago Police Department, I was earning my master's in business administration from the Illinois Institute of Technology. My dream job was joining the FBI, so I think it's a little bit ironic that I'm working with two former FBI agents now who have started their own company, and we all ended up in tech. But that's what drew me to law enforcement, and I really saw Chicago or the Chicago Police Department as a stepping stone to get me to that goal of joining the FBI. My path changed, and I ultimately ended up in tech. While I was in grad school, I started to meet a lot of different people who were involved in technology, and they made introductions, and it allowed me to make that transition into the corporate world. I met a group of people who I worked with for the better part of 15 years. That led me into security. Then it led me into core cybersecurity at a company called FireEye, which ultimately led me to a company where I met Jason and Andre as they exited the FBI. I guess fast forward to the future, about 8 years, they had started Force Metrics. I had left the previous company that was acquired, and the timing was right, so I joined Force Metrics as the Chief Revenue Officer. So one of the most unique things about my family is I was a third generation police officer. My grandfather started the academy in 1940, approximately, I think November 18th of 1940. Then my father joined, then I joined, my uncle joined, my cousin joined, my father-in-law joined, who was my boss at one time. And I met my wife in the police academy, and we've been married now for over 30 years. But when you add it all up, there's approximately 150 years of police service, all on the Chicago Police Department. I think the biggest thing that I've learned or that helped me the most in my career as a salesperson was the observation skills in the police department. I had a chance to meet a detective one time who was at the end of his career in the 90s, so he had been on since the early 60s. And he always taught me that when you walked into a room to look around, be observant, look at the pictures on the walls, look at the mementos around the house, would give you an idea of who was in that house and how safe it was or wasn't. What I absolutely do not miss working midnights. Unfortunately, when I committed to go to grad school, that was in the evenings, so that meant that I had to work the 12 p.m. to 8 a.m. shift the entire time. One of the things that I did miss was we always got the opportunity to work special events, whether it was a Bears game, a Bulls game, some of the sporting events. So we did have a lot of good times working some of those events. So I owe a lot. I owe pretty much my entire career to the Chicago Police Department. I started there as a police officer. They had a great tuition reimbursement program that allowed me to take advantage of it, enroll in graduate school. It allowed me to have the schedule flexibility to keep working midnights while I completed my graduate degree. And it taught me incredible skills, whether it was people skills, observation skills, and decision-making skills. I always say that the best skill I learned was the ability to make a decision. You had to make them fast, and sometimes they weren't the right decisions, and you had to readjust and make a new decision. So I really feel like the 7 years that I spent there, I learned a tremendous amount, and I have nothing but gratitude for that time. And I really think it made me the person that I am today and gave me the success that I've had.